Hello everybody, it's the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want, and as you can see by the lack of video, I'm taking a new approach. For now on, my reviews are going to be audio only. Why? Because it's my show and I can do what I want with it, so if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Anyway, today I'm reviewing Iron Man 3, the beginning of Marvel's Phase 2, that being their next batch of movies after the Avengers. How does this one... And what do I think of this one? Well, I did enjoy it a lot, but there were a handful of elements that left me with mixed feelings. Let's start with the good stuff. Robert Downey Jr. and Gwyneth Paltrow turn in their usual great performances as Tony Stark and Pepper Potts, as does Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan, though he isn't really given much of a part in this one. And also in this movie, the romance between Tony and Pepper actually progresses, unlike in Iron Man 2 and the Avengers, where nothing was really added to it. In fact, in the Avengers, she really didn't get much to do. Gwyneth Paltrow didn't. And just a quick detour, while this movie does act as sort of a follow-up to the Avengers, there's little to no mention of the events of the second film. And the references to the Avengers have little to no impact on the plot, so newcomers should be relatively safe. The only real exception is a scene after the credits where Tony Stark is talking about his issues. Yes, Iron Man actually has emotional problems in this movie. Just go with it. Anyway, he's talking about his issues to a certain man with a serious anger management problem. But that's all. But that's the only thing that really depends on the events of the Avengers, nothing else. And that brings me to an issue I have with this movie. It's good that they try to develop Tony Stark as a character by giving him, emotional problems to overcome, but they aren't really that well integrated into the story. They rather feel flat and underused, at least until the very end, which takes an surprisingly unexpected turn. But I won't go into that. You'll just have to see the movie for yourself to see that for yourself. And speaking of good twists, and speaking of characters with good twists, Ben Kingsley does a great job as the villain, the Mandarin. Normally I would complain about how they cast a white actor in a role written for an Asian man, but this movie contains a twist about the Mandarin that actually sort of justifies that, but I won't dare spoil it for you here, you'll just have to see the movie yourself. While this movie does contain the comedy that Iron Man is known for, it still manages to be the darkest of the three movies, which is surprising as the director, Shane Black, is famous for his comedic writing. Okay, it's not nearly as dark as, say, The Dark Knight, but it's still refreshing for Marvel to try and take a more adult approach with their films, which, judging by its trailers, they should be continuing with Thor 2 later this year. Overall, Iron Man 3 is a touch too serious at times, but it's still a very good, enjoyable movie. In fact, it's probably one of the better Marvel movies. Not the best, that's the Avengers, but still it's one of the higher ones. Oh, so yeah, I recommend you check it out, and make sure you stay for the credits, because that scene will have you laughing for hours. I won't spoil it for you, but let's just say stay after the credits. I know they're long, but trust me, it's worth it. I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want,